up, guys? It's Confused here, and today I want to put to rest a certain rumor that has been circulating that technical analysis doesn't work. And after a great week of day trading, I've got quite a few setups to show you this time. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of my favorite setups. If you're at all familiar with this channel, you're going to know what this is. Here we are with BA on a 3-minute chart. I want to say on December 2nd, where we've got a nice price breakout at 214, a little pullback, and then we started forming this, resistance zone around 220. As you can see, it's making a very nice ascending triangle here, where we're going up and then forming this flat top angle here for a breakout. If you've paid attention to any of my videos, you know that I usually call this the easiest day trading setup, because here's why. Not only do you have a very well-defined resistance area, you have higher lows going all the way up into it, and you're on top of the VWAP, and every single time we go up and test this resistance level, it comes down a little bit higher, making higher lows. And then it finally curls into it, and once it breaks that price level, it explodes through and we get a nice run up. Who says technical analysis doesn't work? So let's move on to another trade that panned out pretty well this week. That would be the new EV LiDAR company LAZR. Except for this time, we have what is called a bullish rectangle right here. Or in Confused world, I call this the golden treasure chest. So as you can see, we have a bullish stock here with the price action kind of bouncing back and forth inside of this rectangle. And it's making a pretty defined resistance level as well as the support levels. Every time it gets down here, we get a nice little wick, a little bit of a higher low here, another test, another wick off the bottom level, and then we get my favorite, curling price action into the resistance zone. Not only that, this one made a higher low, and as soon as we get up to this price level, we see a big volume surge through it. So that is a very bullish sign that we can take this and go long with it here. So in terms of how to play this, we took it long once it broke the bullish rectangle, and we had a stop loss somewhere in the neighborhood of this last higher low here. And we're going to try and take profits on the way up. It stayed above the breakout zone, so there was plenty of profit to be made here going long at this point with the stop loss here. For the next stock that we traded, it was Nvidia that I had lined up for you. This one, let's see here. Okay, right, yeah, we had a descending wedge over here that I drew out on a 3-minute. And if I remember correctly, it actually looks a little bit better on a 1-minute chart. So I'm going to pull that up. There we go. And as you can see, we've got this nice descending wedge pattern here. You can kind of disregard this just because of how fast it came back up and bounced off of this little dip right here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches essentially, and a nice little downtrend that was forming. Additionally, we had this 533 resistance zone that we have basically 1 touch, 2 touches, 3 touches, and then we had this 4th little bit of price action right here, except for after we broke this downtrend, we got above VWAP, back into the resistance area. We got a very clean curling price action here on top of the VWAP, making this nice little higher low, and then as soon as it broke this $533 level, we knew that it was a great time to go long. So we hopped in long over here, put a stop loss somewhere in this area, and wrote it up and took profits all the way up. And then finally, this one's a little bit unusual, but it panned out really well. Let's see, I believe it is on a 3-minute chart. Yeah, there it is. Drew it out in advance so you guys would be able to really take it in easily. So this would be what is called an inverse head and shoulders, and there's a little bit more to it than just these white lines here. So as you can see, we had a big gap up in the pre-market, and some weird price action at the open. I don't really like that, but usually if one of these stocks that is gapping up has significant volatility after 15 or 20 minutes, when the open price action kind of settles down, I'll start taking a look at it and marking a few zones and set some alerts, and then come back to it after some time if any of those alerts trigger. And so on this one, I kind of was watching it. I had it on one of my side screens, and basically, as you can see, it came down, tested here, it dipped lower. I thought, maybe this stock's kind of done for the day, but then we got a nice little bit of a rally back to this 540 level. So we're starting to form a resistance or a potential, support here in the future at this level. So I said, okay, well, we're going to pay attention. It dips again, makes another higher low. So shoulder, head, shoulder. And then it breaks out through this $5.40 level. What's really interesting about this, and is something that kind of gave me a little extra conviction on this trade, was just that if you notice, every time it dips, towards the bottom of the dip, the volume really kind of drops off. And then we had some big buyers that would step in and launch it back up to this 540 level. And then again, as it tapers off, the volume on the stock kind of reduces to nothing, and then as soon as it turns around, boom, more volume coming in. And then finally, on this last dip, it gets abysmal down here. There's absolutely no price action happening, and this is what I like to call basically the calm before the storm. So we get this empty bit of price action here around 10 a.m., and then next thing you know, it starts turning up, and boom, big volume bars coming in. And so once we get to the $5.40 price level, it's time to go. Once it cracks that resistance zone and you start seeing this big volume pouring in. So we took the break of the neckline here and hopped in long and turned around and sold wherever we felt like it was too high. So just to clarify, guys, like you hopped in long, we're selling on this first move because it's kind of outlandish how quick it came up. And we would have put a stop somewhere back below this last little shoulder over here's price action. Or, if it ripped up here, I would probably move it up to break even. Regardless, this thing took off and we made some good money pretty quick. And it was all because we understood how to take advantage of this technical analysis pattern. So in review, I've shown you an inverse head and shoulders, descending or falling wedge with Nvidia, my favorite pattern with Boeing, the ascending triangle, or the easiest day trading setup. Go watch the other videos if you want to learn more about that. And what I like to call the bullish rectangle, aka the golden treasure chest on laser. All of these are great setups, and there's plenty more that you can take advantage of if you put some time in to learn a little bit of technical analysis, and not just the visual patterns, but also kind of the other tells. Like you have to be able to use your resistance and support levels. You need to look at the volume profiles and maybe even a couple indicators that will add a little bit of confluence to each one of your trades. So with that said, if you don't mind, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or in the comments section. My Twitter handle is @confused1, and we'll see you next time.